Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal, all of you ugly motherfuckers? What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on, my dog?
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what, I'm out?
All right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah, cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody
you're not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You lose the second result.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like, so is it cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first.
You would be, oh, you such a gentleman.
I do what I do.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman.
Oh.
Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
So you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, cause what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So like, do the whole time you just like, oh no, this cool. This ain't. We just chilling. She just want to rub my back. That's cool. Ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, okay. Ooh, all right. You ain't gotta kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
If she pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, oh. Yeah, this is the moment.
Just said, bro. I'm like, oh. I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
that's
right?
The moment, yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's like the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my d. I didn't ask for it.
I don't say the words.
It's like, no, I didn't know. You know when I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen to you in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in. And he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings. You know, and I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he looked like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shame. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, "Oh, Bernard,
you slut." But no,
he about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you gonna hear, bitch. Bitch.
bitch, bitch. I got all type of bookings, bitch. Like, yeah. Shout out to Saucy. Sorry, I just went on my little rant. This is the issue we out, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. I don't care if you tune in late. I don't care if you tune in when it's live. I'm just glad that you are tuning in. You are giving us the opportunity to be giants that we think we are already. I am the co-host. I used to always say I'm the host, but I'm gonna end this year out and keeping it 100. I am the co-host of this show. The host of this show, the lady that really pushes the bells and the whistles and keep this thing popping and like adds on certain things. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on TikTok trying to promote this. I'm gonna give a real big shout out at the end of the year for the creme de la creme, the head honcho, the lady that pushes the bells and the whistles, the blonde so fine, most divine. Meet her in time, and she might not have time if you ain't got the dime. I want to give a round of applause for my host, also my family, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Thanks for the kind words.
You know, I try to give make it better and bigger every time. Again, please, thank you for being a part of the It's That We Talk. If you are tuning in for the first time and you don't know nothing about us, please hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube so we can continue to give you the It's That We Talk. We have got the pleasantries out the way in the introduction, but I always, off the flip, always got to give a shout out to Twitch. What's up, y'all? What's up, you ugly MFs?
Yeah.
Y'all fly, and eventually we gonna get it popping over there. So I love y'all. Off the flip. Also, shout out to anybody that is gonna look at us on TikTok right now. They might ban us, but until they ban us, let's get a band up.
Yeah, we definitely need to keep TikTok. They have an alternative, but it's nothing like TikTok.
Let's run a band up, y'all. Let's run a band up. I ain't asking y'all for a lot. I ain't asking for cooking with Kaya views. I'm just asking for 1,000 of y'all.
I just heard about her like a couple of days ago. So like, I guess she twerks when she cooks and stuff.
She has been ruining families. and it's not the family's fault. I'm gonna keep it 100 just because we're live. So I just want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to cooking with Kaya. You insecure ass ladies, because I ain't gonna disrespect y'all, call y'all bitches, because y'all got families and y'all got relationships. Insecurity, ladies, is making y'all hate cooking with Kaya. Get on her bandwagon. If that's what she's doing to get the views, start twerking when you making that food for that nigga. I don't give a fuck if you making hot dogs. Like, boy, I got this Earl Campbell's in this bitch and then twerk. Like, that's all that nigga be looking at. Do the same fucking thing. Like, dude, stop being insecure. That nigga can never get with Kaya.
A live show is always good.
I just never understood that. Like, as much I found out about it like 2 weeks ago, and it was so funny because I was like, the women that are upset, Kaya's never gonna check for your dude. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what you mad at that nigga for?
Does she got a dude?
I don't know if she got a dude, but you know what Kaya's not gonna do? Check for the nigga that work at Kroger's.
Not even for the discount.
Like, not even for the discount. We've already seen she don't need it.
Right.
Like, fuck it, we talking. Stop getting into an argument, breaking up with the nigga that is there for you.
Oh shoot. Let me get on there and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Shit.
And that's the thing, it's one of them where the the one thing I like about her is because she started a revolution of this is what they a lot of ladies are doing now, and then she's getting backlash on that because like now they saying like now you got all these bitches twerking on TikTok making meals. Guess what? I hate to say it like this. All of you jealous women and all of you bitch ass niggas that don't get no pussy. Now I'm gonna disrespect you niggas because I'm gonna keep it 100. A nigga that gets on any other woman or Kaya's post and disrespect them, y'all don't get no bitches no way, and y'all probably got no bitch. Let's just do that right there. Let's just keep it at a beam right there. Y'all don't get no bitches no way, or y'all ain't got no bitch. Stop disrespecting them. It is what it is. If a bitch that can possibly get an OnlyFans makes better food than your bitch or you, then you're the problem, not them.
Not them. I agree. There's an underlining issue if you're hating on a girl just for twerking.
Exactly.
There's definitely an underlining issue. So yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker warming up Hot Pockets mad at this bitch. Like, get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Kaya. Shit, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, young lady, because I'm talking about you going to the bank with that shit. While this nigga working this warehouse job getting yelled at from a bitch that probably don't even work.
That's tough. That is tough right there. All right. Well, shout out to Cooking with Kaya, you know. Yeah, so let's get into these topics. Well, where should we go first? Should we go local or should we go national?
Let's go local.
We do have local.
Let's go local.
Okay. Yeah, so Funny Marco. He is a nationally known name. However, he is from the town. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. So he was supposed to have a comedy show at the Uptown. Now, before I continue, did you know about this comedy show?
I did know about this comedy show, and I did purchase tickets.
You did? Okay, so I had no idea until I found out about it canceling. So the show got canceled because of low ticket sales, which this is crazy because they needed to sell 1,500 tickets. I didn't even know 1,500 people can be in the Uptown. It doesn't look that big to me, but whatevs. Yeah, so they needed to sell 1,500 tickets. They only sold 900. So we have been running into this issue a lot over the past couple of years that shows that are booked to come to Kansas City will cancel because Kansas City is one of those last minute cities where they like to buy their tickets like the day before or the day of.
Yep.
And it really sucks. Beckerman is watching. He says comedy shows getting canceled for low ticket sales is happening a lot. Yeah, it is.
True. That's true.
I think I was seeing rumors, and then I also went to Ticketmaster, and I didn't see it no more. But don't quote me on this. Let me put the banner up. Don't quote me on this, but I heard that Martin Lawrence got canceled too for Kansas City. And like I said, I went to Ticketmaster. I didn't see it on Ticketmaster no more. So he's going everywhere else, but he's not coming here, which is crazy because he did sell a lot last time he came. But anywho, yeah, so it's not just with comedy shows, it's with other types of shows, you know, because like I said, Kansas City likes to buy their shit last minute and whatnot. But yeah, he was supposed to sell 1,500. He only sold 900, which I think that's a lot. But yeah. So the price, correct me if I'm wrong, but the price I heard was about $60 a ticket. Is that about right? Yeah. So couple things, in my opinion. Let's just keep it one. Funny Marco's not funny. He's not funny. Like from his skits to yeah, but I'm saying it. from the skits were never funny to me. The show was never funny to me. Like his brand of comedy is just not funny to me. And on top of that, I don't think that he's at that level yet. Hey, people go and watch Tiffany Haddish and she ain't never been funny. So she's just not at that, or not she. He's not at that level yet. He's not at that level yet to be selling $60 tickets and he doesn't have like a whole roster of people. Like I think that one dude, Ray the Jerk dude, was supposed to be the host. And those are only two people I heard. That dude lives in Kansas City. You can see him any given day. So $60 a ticket for them two? No. He should have done a smaller venue and he should have charged a less amount for the tickets. He's not there yet. He's not A, B, or C list at this point. I'm not hating by saying this, so because that's what people like to automatically go to. Oh, she's hating. No, I'm not hating. I'm keeping it one. He's not there yet. He could get there. Nobody's saying that he can't get there, but as of right now, he's not there. When you think of people who are from the town, they haven't, like, it took them years to sell out certain places. Years. Janelle Monáe was just here last year. She sold out the Midland. She wasn't at the Sprint Center, and she's been out for what, 20 years? She left Kansas City for what, 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? So why do you feel that when you've only been in the game for X amount of years that you're supposed to sell 1,500 tickets at the Uptown?
Well, I'm gonna stop you right there. And because my whole look on it was, it wasn't that. My whole look on it was, Funny Marco targets a certain audience. At the same time that Funny Marco targets a certain audience, I think he picked the wrong time to try to put a show together in the city.
You think he should have did it in the city? In the summer?
Yeah, this is the holiday season. People were so focused on taking care of the things that they got to go on with the holidays. Yeah, if he would have like took off the cap, like, because I know for a fact I've been in concerts at the Uptown. You don't have to sell that bitch out. I think his cap was too high. And I think that's what, but that's just one of those things he's gonna figure out in growth. Because again, I was one of the people that actually paid for the ticket because I know Ray. I actually went to school with Ray, so I know him. I don't know him as a comedian, but I know him hosting. It would be great because he has the gift of gab.
He's a good host. He's not good as a comedian. I've been where he has hosted and done his comedy spiel, and he's not funny. He's a jerk.
Yeah, I've never seen his comedy, but I've seen him hosting, and I've seen him do an amazing job. So I'm not taking that away from him. I also know the dude that my Facebook dude and my Instagram dude that talks about certain places that you should and should not go in the city. I know he was also supposed to be a comic artist there.
Who is that?
Damn, I forgot the dude's name, but his catchphrase is "Do you hear me?"
Never heard of him.
So I know he was because he's up and coming. But I know he was supposed to be there, and he was quite upset about it canceling. But at the same time, I really do, because I'm not gonna downplay Funny Marco, because Funny Marco has a niche. Funny Marco would never be who he is if he didn't have a niche.
People find his niche funny. I said people find his niche funny.
You have to think, in the short time that Funny Marco is created, Funny Marco is at least a six-figure nigga, if he ain't nothing else. So his niche is there. The timing was wrong.
I think the promo was terrible too, because it was a lot of people in the comments like, I didn't even know that he was coming. So, and then I heard a couple people say that they heard it on the radio, but that shit should have been out. Like his brand is mainly social media, so it should have been all over social media.
It should have been. And you know, the funny part about it is when I found out about his tickets. I found out about his tickets from just being around, and people was telling me. I didn't see it on my social media, and I was just like, oh well, shit. You know me, I'm one of them niggas. Just because I really know what I'm saying. I got a brand, so I be like, I'm gonna fuck with town shit. So of course, I paid for the tickets.
Yeah,
and
but I don't
tickets
think
aren't high, but the tickets are high for an individual who is paying money for the holidays. I happen to be a nigga that don't celebrate holidays, so I think I think at the end of the day, I think I paid like maybe $68 and some change for 2 tickets. So altogether, I paid like maybe $140.
Yeah,
it's not a bad play.
It's not, and it is at the same time. For who it is, it's a bad play. And
I don't think so. I really don't. I would say
I think so because he's not there yet. He's not.
Not to cut you off. Not to cut you off because I don't want to cut you off, but just for the venue that he's in. Now, like you said, if he would have did a smaller venue, yeah, $60 way too much. But the Uptown,
he shouldn't have. I said a smaller venue and a cheaper price. That's what it should have been.
Man, I agree with that. I agree with that. But being at the Uptown, you have to. It has to be a certain price.
Yeah. Travis Scott was Uptown when he did Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. When he did that album came out in 2016. The concert was in 2017. That line was wrapped around the corner. That's Travis Scott. Travis Scott had to grow to that point. He's not there yet. He's not.
But I mean, but that's
he's not going to do the show. He's not going to do his podcast show. He's not going to do that on stage. Maybe if he was doing that on stage, maybe, and that's a big fat maybe. But he was doing his stand up. He's not there yet. He's not.
But we don't know. That's the whole thing is we don't know. Like, because I want you to get into a mind frame.
It says on the thing, stand up by Forty Marco.
Again, but you don't know what his version of what his stand up is going to be when he's there.
Okay.
Because that's the same thing they did with the 85 South show. They said stand up comedy, and then they had stand up comics, and then they did a podcast. So you don't know what Funny Marco was going to do because Funny Marco could have been playing the same format. The thing was he reached too far. Like I get what you're saying, but I think because how this city is, and I'm going to keep it 100 with everybody that is listening to this podcast right now. One of the things that fucks us up is we don't never root for the home team. Even if you don't like them, you still got to root for the home team. That's what made Texas so famous. But I ain't even going to get into none of that. I'm going to just say this. Again, I'm going to just say this. I think Funny Marco's timing was off when he did this.
It could be a lot of factors.
That's all. I just think the timing was off. Because $60 plus taxes is not it's not that bad. But in the holiday season, oh man, come on, man. I'm not spending $60 on nothing. When my son just told me he wants 3 Xbox games and a remote control. Like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you definitely have a point. Because it's not only just the tickets. You gotta buy your data ticket. You gotta get spiffy because it's an event that you're gonna be seen at. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole lot of money because you need an outfit, you need your hair done, you need your nails done, you need your lashes, you need all this type of stuff.
Women so
like,
different.
There's a lot going on.
Women so different, and I do this with Jasmine. When we go places like we do, the last event we went to, I know Jasmine for a fact, at least for the event, she spent like $400 or $500 to go to the event. I literally grabbed shoes and shit out of the closet. I didn't even think about that shit. I was just like, oh, it's today, and I just earned clothes and just went.
Right. But I mean, but some men are like you, and some men do go to the mall and or order or whatever they do, but they do pop tags for events. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I mean, it all depends on the man, but for the women, for the most part, yeah, they stepping out, and stepping out costs a lot. So it's not just the tickets, it's everything that entails. So yes, the timing, absolutely. The timing, I do agree with you, was bad. For up and coming, absolutely. I don't give a fuck if I grew up with him around the corner from my house, like, no, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like I said before, Janelle Monáe is solidified, and she sold out the Midland. She ain't sold out the Sprint Center or T-Mobile Center, whatever the fuck it's called now. She didn't do a stadium tour, and this is her hometown. So,
and I get, and that's just growth. That's just, you have to
yeah, like
understand.
he's not there yet. Period. Point blank.
Yeah,
He's not.
and the thing that we don't understand as living in the Midwest, we don't understand the bag he's getting wherever he's at. So this was probably the norm there. That ain't the norm here, and like
Ain't
that's
the
the
norm
thing.
here.
No, I'm saying that's the thing with a lot of celebrities, especially celebrities that come from where we come from in the Midwest. They'll go out there because this is tried and true. This is something that resonates to everybody. Any nigga will tell you they make more money outside of their state than they do in their state, period. That's from New York niggas to
That's
Miami
anybody.
niggas to all
Right.
that. That just is what it is. And
Right.
so it's a learning process for Funny Marco to know, like, okay, once we go back to the town, instead of doing this, because this is what I'm used to doing, maybe I need to scale it back down. And so that'll build him up. And that again, it's just a learning process. Like I would have loved to see Funny Marco. Not on, I think he's an amazing comic. I think excuse me. I think for what he does, he's 100% authentic, and can't nobody change that. And I think it would have been a good show. Period. I just think he just line stepped. Like that's just 100. I just think he line stepped. He should have took it down a notch, and maybe instead of the Uptown Theater, he should have just ran through a comedy spot.
Some people say he should have just went up north. What's that place up north?
But the Funny Bone, because they changed it.
Yeah, they changed the name. Yeah, the Funny Bone. Some people say he should have went there. I don't necessarily agree with him doing the Funny Bone. He could have did a bigger venue.
Yeah, I don't think he should have did a Funny Bone. I would say he should have did the Independent Center, because I know for a fact there ain't no limit there. You could just pay for a venue, and then you can and you can have pre-ticket sales, and then you can have right there ticket sales.
Yeah.
Only reason why I say that is because
I don't think he.
That's how Tech Nine was eat.
Yeah, but he ain't Tech Nine. Another person who ain't done the Sprint Center. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's been out for how long, and he ain't touched the Sprint Center yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you just gotta work it smart.
Solidified. But I don't think Funny Marco is Independent Event Center famous yet. Like, they have Tyler the Creator go to Independence Event Center. He's not Tyler Creator level. He don't have that following, and he's definitely don't have that following here. So no, I don't think he's at that level yet. I don't care about the amount or whatever. They're gonna look at the seats being filled. He's not, even if they don't have that limit, he's gonna look at the seats being filled, and that shit gonna look empty. He's not gonna do that to himself.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
But the only reason why I say it'll be better, and that's just for anybody who is an up and comer, anybody from rappers to comedians to if you want to be a motivational speaker, independents, they don't have a cap. Like, so you can't say we need to fill these amount of seats up and these amount of seats up. The Independent Center don't even require you to do that. They just need that spot available.
But what I'm saying is, whether they have a cap or not, it's not gonna be filled the way that he feel like it's gonna be filled. So if he step out on that stage and he see an empty place, that's gonna fuck with him. No matter if they tell him he sold X amount of seats or whatever, it's gonna look empty because he's not that level yet.
And I understand that. I'm just giving him an know what I'm saying. I'm giving him an alternative because that last minute draw. You're gonna get last minute draw. And because so even speaking on the independent center, only thing you got to do is maintain employment. So when they hire vendors and they hire vendors and they hire food and they hire that, you just got to make sure that is taken care of.
Yeah. But you also got to make money too. He's not going to do it if he ain't making money. And even if he break even, he's not going to do it. Like, no.
Okay. I can't say that because I don't know Funny Marco and how his finances is. But I'm saying if you're going to do that in the future, look for certain things like that, because that's what's going to get you that push in the city that you literally grew up in, where people are actually gonna hate on you more than anybody else that you know what I'm saying that you ever fucked with in life. So I would tell him to, like, invest in things where you can just break even. I would never cancel a show. Like if the Ish We Talk blew up tomorrow, I would never cancel a show because I'm not going to get used to Atlanta money, or I'm not going to get used to New York money or New Jersey money or Cali money. When I come to the city, as long as the vendors and all that shit is taken care of, that's cool. I can break even because I want to get more people in my town to fuck with the Ish We Talk. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta learn at one point in your life, like, when you go back to your town, you go back to your town because you want to show them that you made it and show them that they can do it too.
Yeah, and then people that go back to their town sometimes get murdered too. So it's a catch-22 when you talk about going back.
It's a catch-22, but you're not gonna get murdered at the Independence Center.
Because Independence don't play that. No,
definitely play that. I ain't saying Independence don't play that, but what I'm saying is, if you get murdered in the Independence Center, you just came by yourself.
Yeah, I think what he needs to do is he needs to have not necessarily local up and coming. He needs to have people on his same level and go on tour with people, not a tour. He's not on the level to do a tour by himself. I think that may be what the bigger issue is, because it was just him and some local people. So maybe if he teams up with other people, you know what I'm saying? Because like Mike Epps, when he does the Sprint Center, he doesn't do the Sprint Center by himself. He has other people that he's with that are known. They may not be as known as him, and he may be bringing up people that do have a good name, have a good following going on, but maybe just need that added push that Mike Epps can bring. But he's not doing it solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a Funny Marco should team up with other comedians and go on tour. And then maybe he could do the Uptown. Because I can't see him doing the Independence Event Center just yet. But I also don't see him doing the Funny Bone either. Like, I think he's bigger than the Funny Bone.
I think he's way bigger than the Funny Bone.
Yeah. So, but I just feel like he's not big enough to do the Uptown by himself.
So find somewhere that it doesn't have a cap. My nigga, if you only sell 900 tickets, that's fine, because it doesn't have a cap there.
Yeah.
And then that first day, or not the first day, but that when you get there, it's people gonna be rushing to just get tickets. That's how you gonna surge. That's what, you know what I'm saying. That's just what happens with a lot of people. The reason why most of our local rappers are who they is yeah, they did pre-sale tickets, but niggas was just rushing on the last minute. That's just, I hate to say it for my city, but that's just is what it is. A nigga just be like, fuck it, let's just go to the Rich concert.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was fucking 2,000 niggas. It just was like, fuck it, let's go to the Rich concert. And he makes his money back on, you know what I'm saying, on the back end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to look at it like that. It's like, especially because I'm just only speaking because I love my town. I know what I'm saying. I'm just like, but I know how my town is. My town is like, shit, we're just going to go there and get some tickets. Like, unbeknownst to us, we have this, I guess it's because we from the Midwest, we have this idea of, nah, we can just go there and it's going to be cool. They're going to give us a pass. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? I think that's really what it is. Because I've been in other places where they like, nah, you better get that shit right now. Because that shit, they might not have that shit on the opening day. And I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go there right then and there. And I've been thrown out. Like, not thrown out like that, but like, nah, we ain't got no more tickets. Because that's how other people do it.
Yeah.
In West, we don't do it that way.
Yeah.
We don't do it. And
I wouldn't even say the
we
Midwest.
don't do it that way. Not even being on no extra shit. I remember driving down to St. Louis to go see a fucking St. Lunatics concert 2 days before the fucking concert. And still was able to fucking get in there.
Shit, how long ago was that?
Nigga, this is 2024. This was 2009.
Yeah.
This is when like, this was like right when the album right before the album came out.
What album?
The St. Lunatics album. What time
St. Lunatics album came out in 2001.
Nah.
It did.
Nelly's album came out in 2001, so it had the U City came out like 2002, 2003.
Absolutely not.
I'm about to look it up right
Google
now.
it.
If it came out in 2001.
Country Grammar came out in 2000. Free City came out in 2001. Nellyville came out in 2002.
Nellyville did come out in 2002. So okay, I ain't even gonna argue with you.
Yes, like absolutely not.
But
I don't know if I ever told my 9/11 story, but my 9/11 story consists of Midwest swang. So yeah.
What? No, you gotta tell me that.
Well, this is the thing. Because every morning I used to get up and go to school because I was going to Penn Valley at the time. And I would get up, turn my TV on, and then go into the bathroom and then turn on the radio. This particular day, I just got up and went into the bathroom and turned the radio on. And Midwest Swang had just started. Nelly was rapping, and they interrupted the song to let everybody know that the second tower fell. And I'm like, what are they talking about? So I left the bathroom, went back into my room, turned the TV on, and there it was.
Wow.
Yeah. And this particular day, I only had one class, and it was my 11 o'clock class. So I woke up later than normal. So everybody in the house was gone already. And this class I had was a math class, and my teacher was from New York. And she was very adamant about cell phones not being in the classroom. So when we get there or whatever, we're waiting outside right before we walked in. And she was outside in the hallway on her cell phone. And so we walked in, and then she finally walked in, and she was just like, y'all know how I am about cell phones, but y'all also know what's going on today. And y'all know that I'm from New York, and I have contacted everybody except for 2 people in my family. So my cell phone's going to be here. And shoot, who going to argue with you about that, you know? So, but by the end of the class, she did have contact with 2 people, with the last 2 people. So everybody in her family was straight, but that I would have canceled class. Like I can't focus. How I'm gonna teach y'all algebra, and I don't know if my family members are alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100% right.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was my first semester, and my first semester was in 2001. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, you're right, because I looked it up. It was 2001. But again, even when I'm saying it's 2009, it's still, if it would have been low ticket sales, I wouldn't have been able to get there.
Mm-hmm.
They would have canceled it. It was one of those things where it was still pushed through because I was still able to get, you know what I'm saying, to go. I was just like, fuck it. He's gonna hop in the car. We're gonna get there. We're gonna go to St. Louis, blah, and then come right on back. It's a 4-hour fucking drive.
Yeah. But I feel like Nelly and the St. Lunatics is on a totally different level than a Funny Marco. So
again, what I'm saying
they're
is
gonna
he just has to know because I'm never gonna say that because that's the thing that I always
but that's a fact.
Again, but for me though, for me, how I look at certain things is like that's what downplays the artist when you be like, oh well, they not this or they not that, they not this, they not that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just say, just learn how to pick and choose wisely.
But that's the thing though. You trying to sugarcoat some shit. Let's just keep it one. Funny Marco is not there yet. Period. Point blank. Who's to say that he will never get there? I'm not putting that on him. I wish him all the best, even though I don't care for his comedy, but a lot of people do. I literally wish him all the best. No hate here. But let's just keep it one. He is not there yet. He's not. And that's okay. That's okay. But you got to be real about the situation. That's just like somebody coming out last year talking about I want to sell out the fucking Sprint Center. No. It's not happening.
So basically what you saying is even if Funny Marco tickets was $60 in June, you wouldn't have paid that.
I'm not going because I don't care for him. So I'm not going, period.
Yeah, I just think it's
nothing he do is funny.
I think
nothing he do is funny.
So I think he would have did an amazing job.
I feel like he made us look like some punks when he got punked by G Herbo and Southside. I'm still tight about that because what the fuck was you doing?
You know what? I never looked at it like that because I wouldn't even let them niggas play with me like that. But that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just the type of caliber that certain niggas are. And I really do think in that situation, even talking about it now, I just think that all of that was just staged. I just think that was staged. But I think it was staged. They could say it wasn't.
They broke his watch, and he came out and talking about how it wasn't staged, and they broke his watch and how much his watch cost and all that. So you let these people play in your motherfucking face, break your shit.
I just don't believe that. I just don't believe from where Funny Marco is from, and the people that the people that are with him. Especially from where he's from, I just believe that was staged because that would have been a full ass crash out. Like, excuse me, I'm gonna keep it a total bean for everybody that don't know. Funny Marco is from a part of town where all he had to do was be funny and niggas protected him. Funny Marco didn't go down to Atlanta by himself. So really understand certain shit like that shit. I don't give a fuck what niggas talking about Chicago and all that. And that much respect for niggas in Chicago and how y'all niggas get down. But it is something about us. These niggas from the city, that wouldn't have never went down for real if niggas didn't know about like what was gonna happen after. Like, cause that would have been a full ass crash out. That would have been a real full ass crash out. We would have been if that was just out of nowhere, for real. I'm gonna keep it 100 with the people that Funny Marco know. Nigga, it'd have been Kansas City against Chicago, and I'm gonna keep it a whole bean. That's why I didn't pay attention to that bullshit because I was like, nah, because I know the type of niggas that, you know what I'm saying, that really love Funny Marco. Mm-hmm. Like it's one thing. It's one thing for a nigga to be like, I'm a supporter. I really know the niggas that I don't know them niggas per se like that. Like I ain't gonna tell you names or none of those extra shit. No, I know where he's from, so I know the type of niggas that's over there, and I know he didn't go there by himself, and so I know for a fact it would have been a Kansas City versus Chicago type of game if them niggas would have played that type of shit for real.
Real or fake, it was some bullshit.
It was some bullshit. Yeah. Now I'll give you that. It was some bullshit. Yeah. But
I don't believe it.
I didn't go for the hype.
I don't believe it was fake though.
Nah, I'm not gonna go for that.
I mean, because people was debating on if it was real or fake until he came out and was saying what he was saying. Once he came out, started saying what he was saying and playing victim and shit like that, I was just like, all right. Yeah, but this is not what this is about. And we have spent a really long time talking
That is
about
true.
Funny Marco.
We talked about that's all right. That nigga's from the town. Shout out to Funny Marco. Listen.
Shout out to Funny Marco. Hope you get it right next time. Because I'm
Yeah,
sure a
the
lot of people
timing was
would,
just off, my guy.
Yeah,
Timing was just off.
just do it
That's
again.
all.
You know, best of luck to him. Because I'm sure a lot of people will come out and support. But like I said, I just think he should have just chose or thought about it and chose a different route. But you know, who's to say he may be able to sell it to Uptown one day? You know, have a redemption show.
I bet you if you do it next year, you'll sell it out.
Yeah, just have a redemption show. Like, I didn't think I was gonna do it. Here I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I totally 100. I think if you do it next year, he'll totally sell out.
Yeah. But just get that promotion up to par, because that promotion was trash.
Gotta get that promotion up to par.
Yeah. But anywho, next up is let's talk about Karen. Okay, so we don't really get into too many reality shows. We really don't talk about Housewives. I think we probably talked about Housewives maybe twice. But
that ain't my thing.
That ain't your ministry. But this is a bigger deal.
This is.
And that's the reason why I went on ahead and was like, I'm gonna put it on the docket, because this has to be talked about. So Karen Huger, she is on the Real Housewives of Potomac. She is also known as the Grand Dame of Potomac. She had a car wreck a while ago, and then she also called. It was a one-person car wreck. She hit a tree, and she totaled her Maserati. And then after that happened, she also was giving several citations to the tune, I want to say it was like 8 citations total. And she was accused of being drunk. So when the wreck happened, it was like right after last season's filming ended. So during the taping of the season that's currently airing, it was her going through the process of fighting these charges or whatnot. And so of course, you know how reality show is, they try to address it, and her rebuttal is, I can't really talk about it, you know, it's an ongoing process, blah 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 blah, right? It's still not a good thing, because excuse me, if she's convicted, this would be her second DUI. So they filmed the show. The show is currently airing. And then she had her trial this past week. The trial lasted 2 days. She was convicted of, I want to say, 5 or 6 of the charges. 5. So, and they also released the body cam footage and the recording from after she was arrested and was in the precinct. This lady was 2 sheets to the wind. She was fucked up. And I love Karen. I absolutely love Karen. She can almost do no wrong. But it was bad. The fact that she didn't really get hurt initially was insane. Because if you see the car and you see the tree that she hit, she should have been fucked up. But what I understand is that when people are drunk and are in a wreck, they are more loose, and you're supposed to go with the motion of the car. And when you're sober, you tense up. It's a natural reaction. You tense up and all this kind of stuff. But when you tense up, that causes more injuries than a person who is loose. So they're saying that's the reason why she wasn't as fucked up as she could have been. She did feel it next day, which normally when you walk away,
should have fucking died. Like, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. Normally when you walk away from a wreck, you do feel it. I am a witness of that. You know, you do feel it. Oh, you feel it the next day. So, and that's what she said. She did feel it the next day. So I'm not refuting that at all. Like, I'm sure she did. But
yeah, her
yeah,
being
body care
60, she felt the
Trump.
shit out of that shit.
You said what?
She's like 60 years old. Of course, she felt the dog shit about that impact that very next day.
Yeah,
Nigga,
she did. She did.
Well, you goddamn right, nigga. I'm motherfucking. She felt like Claire Huxtable. No, excuse me. What was that? What's Philip Banks' wife's name?
Vivian.
She felt like Vivian after Vivian danced her ass off in front of them young kids.
Everybody dance now.
That's exactly how she felt after. That bitch couldn't even stand up.
Right. Yeah, she most definitely. I believe her 100% on that one. She most definitely felt that shit the next day.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you showed out that night, and then that next morning you got to get up to pee, and then all of a sudden you felt your face on the floor.
Man. You know, let's look at the glass half full. She wasn't seriously injured. This was a one-person wreck, so she did not hit anybody.
Thank God.
And she was able to walk away from it. Those are the positives out of this. However, this being a second DUI for her, that's pretty bad. And just taking it away from her specifically, just getting a DUI period is not cool. It's not. Drunk driving is not cool. Like, too many people are hurt and worse behind that stupidity. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking from a high horse or anything like that, but it's just we just gotta make better decisions, because a lot of stuff could be avoided. A lot of stuff can be avoided when you choose to have somebody else, you know, drive for you. There's so many options nowadays that there's no excuse. Now, I will say this. Now, she was out with people at a public place. I want to say she was like at a restaurant or something. Do you think that some of this, I'm not putting the blame on other people, but do you feel like it's some of the responsibility of the people that you're with to be like, hey, you shouldn't be driving?
Even answer me, I'm gonna say 100% yeah, just because I've been in situations where it's been like, bro, we sitting in the city, we kicking it, we live, we at a venue, we all fucked up. You're a little bit too fucked up than everybody. And I always been like, nah, we gonna just take you home. I'm cool, I can drive myself. We gonna take you home. I'm one of them people again. Once you get on the defense with me, that's how I know you already in the wrong. You know, it's one, because if I'm telling you something that I think is just self-preservation and good vibes, if you start to be defensive, I already know I need to take charge. And this is me as a person. Like, y'all guys see me on live all the time. One thing you're going to see a black, you're going to see a joint, you're going to see some beer. You know what I'm never doing? Outside of once we log out, even if I start going and kicking it, because I've been in those situations, you know what I don't do is drive.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say it is because I've been in a situation where I was in a DWI, and I was intoxicated. I'm honest to God tell you, I was 17 years old and I shouldn't have been driving. I'm in the same predicament with her, except two things. I didn't hit nobody, but I was driving while black. So I really won't know what I'm saying. This is the thing I really want to know what I'm saying, people to understand, because that's what changed me about driving. in a certain situation. I didn't hit nobody. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I didn't run no lights. You know what I'm saying? I stayed on the speed limit. I was literally just under the influence. But as a black man, soon as they see me go through an area, they pull me the fuck over.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I wanted to be a lesson to you. With her, good thing she didn't kill nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, money don't change what you look like.
Yeah.
Money don't change what you look like. And this didn't even go into that. This went to you, bitch. You were just totally off your rocker.
Mm-hmm.
And you ran into a tree. Like you hit a medium and ran into a tree. You shouldn't have been driving.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I can admit that I got caught driving while black and was still doing what I was supposed to do, but I still shouldn't have been driving.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
I still shouldn't have been driving because that's how they got me. I would have walked away if I wouldn't fucked up.
Right. Right.
So when you know that I don't know. When you know that, you should be able to like make precautions for yourself instead of getting in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a pretty big situation. She's facing jail time behind this. Her sentencing date is January 29th. So, and I've watched some legal people on YouTube talk about it, and there was a person that had brought up to a lawyer, why were we being able to see the body cam footage of this? Like, they were trying to make it racial. And the lawyer who's a black woman, she was like, it was absolutely not racial. The thing is that because she tried to get the body cam footage thrown out, and they denied the body cam footage being thrown out. So she was saying because of the fact that in a court case, you can walk into any court case and watch it, whether you have something to do with it or not. The fact that court is public in that aspect, once everything that's presented in a trial is done, you're able to release stuff like body cam footage for the world to see. Because that's what happened. As soon as they got done with the trial, they released the body cam footage. So she was like, it absolutely wasn't racial that the body cam footage got released. It was part of the trial. And so they're saying that if you can see it walking into any courtroom, you can see it via the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then with her in particular, like, because of who she is, they may make an example out of her. And this is the crazy part about it, because she's not the first reality star. She's not even the first housewife that has caught a DUI.
Mm-hmm.
She may be the first one to try to fight it. It went to trial and all that kind of stuff. Like, and that's the crazy part about all this. It was like, why would you even try to fight? Like, I get this is your second DUI. I get that's not nothing that you want to do, but I would have had my lawyer try to really come up with a great plea. Like, I would have paid him to do that.
But, okay, I'm glad you said that, because I'm like, I don't know nothing about this lady, but I'm like, oh, my nigga. One thing you don't know, like, you can't, certain things you don't take to trial. Certain things you just be like, okay, let me get my lawyer involved and make sure I don't get a bunch of points knocked off my goddamn shit. Like, I know a nigga right now that wrapped his shit up. I'm talking about left the boat, hit the wrong corner, find out he was going through a one-way, try to hurry up and spin off, wrap this shit. Blah, 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 blah. This nigga still, to this day, can drive. Because he didn't even worry. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't worry about none of that shit. He paid that lawyer, though, to make sure that his license wasn't revoked. You're fine. Everything's cool. Nothing happened extra. Like, that's the thing that like I just don't. It's so funny that I look at it, it's like this bitch just thought her money was gonna take her out of it. It's like not like she had to not be listening to nobody.
She couldn't have, and
She
that's what
wasn't
somebody
listening to
said.
nobody.
Yeah, that's what somebody said on that video I watched. They was just like, what matter of fact, the lawyer said this, some of these people pay lawyers to tell them what they want to hear. And that's what it was. Because at the end of the day, you're the client. So the lawyer can only give you options and you roll with what option. You know what I'm saying? But then in the same breath, a lawyer can be like, absolutely not, I'm not taking this case, So she said that some of these lawyers, with the type of clients that they're having, the clients are paying them to tell them what they want to hear. And it seemed like that's the type of lawyer that she had. Which, I mean, I don't know what type of lawyer she had. I don't know that man. But yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's one, it's the type of lawyer you have, and then it's the type of lifestyle that you're living. You feel like your money can get you away with things because in her genre, she have seen people actually cause damage and kill people and not spend a day in jail. And so she thought her money was gonna be the outweigh of everything. What she fails to realize is in this situation, and I want to keep it 100 with the audience. One, you're a woman. Don't want to downplay women, but I'm gonna keep it real. Not even sugarcoat for the longest. Probably since the beginning of time. They've always tried to act like women were second fiddle.
Yeah.
Two, you're fucking black. You ain't gonna fight this. There's no way you're gonna fight this. You're gonna take a plea and you're gonna get the fuck out of it because you don't have no evidence that somebody ran you off the road.
Yeah. That was one thing she was saying.
You were literally caught red-handed. Take a goddamn plea.
Yeah. The lawyer said that she feels like the reason why she went ahead and went to trial is because maybe none of the pleas didn't involve jail time. But what I'm going to say is
it's your second fucking time doing it.
It's your second one. So more than likely, yeah, you may have to do some jail time. And I know not nobody want to do fucking jail time, but let's negotiate this jail time. Since y'all just so adamant about me doing jail time, let's negotiate this shit. Like, can I do it on the weekends? Can it be 5 days? Can I do house arrest instead? Like, can we do something else?
You know what?
Because I'm not gonna win this trial. This body cam footage is damning.
Lindsay, as much as I know you from the 40s,
30s,
excuse me. No disrespect to the 40s or the 30s, but the 30s. Right. As much as I know you from the 30s, I really know you from the hood because you was like, can I do it on a weekend? Oh, that shit don't happen no more. But y'all, if y'all never even known anything about that, we from town in Kansas City. A nigga can get 60 days. He could. It don't do it. They don't do it no more. But we had a jail called Leeds.
Man.
And so you could get like 60, 90. You can get 180, I think, at the most. And you would only have to serve that shit on the weekend. These niggas would allow you. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That was the dopest thing about the prison system being private over here was a nigga would literally allow you to take care of your family and just go to jail on a weekend.
Yeah.
As soon as you get out, they'll let you out at midnight on Sunday. You had to make sure you was at your job on at 6 o'clock. Do your job. On Friday, you had to be back at Leeds by midnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now they don't necessarily do it no more here, but other places they still do it. And she's in Potomac, Maryland, which is in the DC area. So, and from what I understand, which this totally makes sense. From what I understand, that area, they are hard ass about DUIs. And it totally makes sense because, you know, the DC area got all these public officials. So I'm sure they're 2 sheets to the wind all the damn time. So they ain't playing with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, I can totally see why they are like, absolutely the fuck not. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see.
You just take a plea. You know, me just being me, I'm just like, bro, you just hurry up and just be like, okay, yeah, I was guilty of a DWI. I'm gonna pay this fine. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pay this lawyer, and I'm gonna get it off my record. Because I'm still about to get out there and drive. At the most, this because it's your second charge. At the most, you would have, know what I'm saying, if they would have tried to give you any type of plea, especially if it was working the play that you were saying, it would have been 6 months at best in jail.
Yeah.
Bitch, serve 6 months.
Yeah. I mean,
now
I get it.
Fucked up to the point where you almost you fucked up to the most because you put it on trial. One thing that when you put it on trial, judges can always make what the date is. So unless you have 100% evidence that they can't hold me, don't play that game with them people, because judges will turn around and be like, oh yeah, this is a what did it say? Oh, it's a 12-month sentence. If this is heinous and this is your second offense, I'm gonna give you 2 years. Yeah.
And that's the thing. She's facing 2 years. More than likely she's not gonna get 2 years, but she's facing 2 years. I foresee, I knock on wood, but I foresee jail time. Just on the strength, this is your second one, and you were fucked up. Oh, she was done. She was done. Like, I'm not gonna pull up no videos from the body cam footage, but it's all over the internet. You can see she was saying all kinds of shit. There was one point in time where she told the officer, "I'm lit," and the cop was like, "Yeah, you're lit. That's why you're here." Like, literally.
Just the whole conversation with the officer it fucked me up. I was like, why would you even take this to trial?
Right. Now, right, exactly. But she was trying to get that body cam footage thrown out and it didn't work. Now, there's this one part that I have to pull up, because this is what I'm going to say to MAGA whenever they try me. Oh, no. Hold on. Cancel. Because this was...
Whenever they try to try you. Like, oh,
yeah.
shit.
This was amazing.
Here we go.
This right here.
Now,
you were poor and white.
And it's so, you know what? As much as you put that right there, I'll say this because I seen that 30-minute body cam footage.
Yeah.
The thing that upsets me the most about the whole thing in the body cam footage is how she was trying to express how rich she was.
Yeah.
The whole time, and then how she turned around and said, "I'm Thomas Jefferson's concubine." So
yeah.
Now, for my people that are listening to me, that right there was it was devastating. It was crazy. It was her saying, to me, it was just her saying, I got so much money that I can get fucked by the government and still be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That
because she kept on talking about how rich she was, and then she turned around when she sit down and she was like, "I am Thomas Jefferson's concubine." That to me, that runs two things for me.
Mm-hmm.
That one, it runs, I'll get fucked for this money, and then two, it runs, I got this money by doing what I had to do, like. And I didn't like it. I was just like, damn, that's just that for me. Listening to that, especially her as a one time she wanted to be Russian, one time she wanted to be half Russian, half black, whatever the fuck you is, you look like a drunk black woman.
Yeah.
You to say, even as a drunk black woman, my money enslaves me is what had me fucked up. I didn't like that at all.
Right. And it's a different perspective hearing that from you because you don't know her.
Exactly. I don't.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that is a way to take that. That is a way to take it. Now, to give a little bit of context, which doesn't excuse her saying that, but she was able to purchase the plantation that her family was enslaved on. And that's been a pretty big deal. Like, she grew up on that place because, like, it was in the family for the longest. But then the person that actually owned it, I think was like an aunt or something. And the aunt was getting older or whatever, so she was able to purchase it from them like in the last couple of years. And they did like a special on Bravo about it, and what have you. So that has been like a big deal to her. Now I don't know necessarily if she is a descendant of Thomas Jefferson and I forgot the lady's name. But I don't know. I don't think she's a descendant, but I do know that they have talked about that aspect of her life.
Okay.
So, but it did come out of nowhere because I feel like if she was a descendant, that I think her name is Sally Hemings. Is that her name?
Yeah,
I think
Sally
so.
Hemings.
Yeah. I feel like that would have been talked about if she was a descendant of Sally Hemings, but I don't believe that she is. But yeah, it was random, and it was like, girl, you're faded. You're extremely faded.
Yeah, that was wild. I was just like,
yeah,
what the fuck? I'm like,
And then
again, it wasn't no downplay. Like, I was looking at her like, oh nah, she because I seen it on somebody post where she was like, she's going through colorism and whoopty whoop, and I didn't see that.
Well, that's another thing. Because this is the crazy part about Potomac. The colorism issue has been huge for the last couple of years on that show, and the way that they have addressed it on the show is disheartening. But some people now, with what she was saying and stuff like that, some people are trying to pin the colorism stuff on her. Which I see the colorism on the show. I don't, but she never really partook in the colorism situations going on, except for there was like a little piece. But other than that, she never really, partook in the colorism shit on the show. But I don't see the colorism aspect of what they were trying to pin on her in these body cam footage. And that's the part that I'm like, I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, even listening to what you're saying now, it just boils down to this.
Yeah.
This bitch right here, and and y'all listening to me. If y'all listening to me and the Ish We Talk, hit the like and subscribe button. What I will say is, the bitch is a deplorable individual, period. I don't give a fuck, black, white, colorism, whatever. She's deplorable. She thinks her money is going to get her out of shit. And that has nothing to do with us. That has a lot to do with her demographic. Her demographic is people that she's seen get away with shit all the time because of their money.
Yeah.
Because when I watched the footage, that's one thing that she kept on doing and saying, like, I'm $700 million no debt. And I was like, I need to look up who this bitch is, because if you really $750 million no debt, are you a bad motherfucker? But at the same time, you being a bad motherfucker means you're a bad motherfucker. That you ain't good for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just what it is, you ain't good for us. And that old nigga that's your husband is wrong as a motherfucker.
I'm not gonna blame him because he
I'm
was
not
really
gonna blame
trying.
you. I'm never
He was
blaming
really
you. What I'm
trying.
saying is, you wrong as a mother. You created this, and so this is the thing I want to tell anybody that is listening. Your wife should be able to follow you, and you're teaching how you run your household. Not only how you run your household, how you run your daily life when it comes to God fearing and being humble, being a part of the people. Your wife is supposed to follow lead with that. It's a red flag when you have someone who is like Malcolm X, but then they're dating someone who is like Jocelyn Hernandez. That's a red flag. You need to cut that short, because that means he's not really following the teachings he's trying to tell you. The man that is her husband, you have got her so comfortable she's willing to be on top of this type of game, because you think that not only does she think that, but you think money outweighs shit. Money don't outweigh the bullshit problems that you bring to people. And this is 100% true. And I'll just go into a layman's terms. She didn't kill anybody. But at the same time, they got to knock that tree down. They got to put another tree up. Not only do they got to do that, whoever built the car got to take the car. They got to break the car down. They got to make sure things are safe. They got to put things in perspective. They got to make sure that the battery is good. If the battery ain't good, then we got to toss the battery. That loses us money. We got if the radiator's good, we can take the radiator somewhere, but we got totain out this. We got to. People with money don't understand the catastrophe it is to maintain what we think is the greatest country in the world, which is America. Somebody always gets the short end of the stick when people just rely on their money instead of relying on what they can do.
Yeah.
And she is one of those people. So she's a deplorable person.
Yeah.
Too caught up in her money, and it was her husband's fault. I said this the other day with I ain't even gonna say the other day, nigga. This is Saturday. So I literally said this shit Tuesday. I was talking to a woman because she was like, my husband, I don't worry about bills. He don't even tell me what the bills cost. I said, that's stupid. That's dumb. And she was like, why? I said, because if he die tomorrow, can you take care of those bills by yourself?
Right.
And
right. It's not a flex.
That ain't the point. That ain't the point. I said, no, that's 100% point.
Yeah. It's not a flex to say I don't know what the bills cost.
It's not
a flex to say that I don't have to pay them, but you at least need to know what's going on. You need to know
what they is.
Yeah.
Like you can't that's the dumbest shit, but that's the I think, and for my opinion, that's what I think. Because if you watch the footage, y'all, she's literally like acting like her husband is supposed to talk for her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And not saying in that moment, because in that moment, yeah. If I was in her husband's shoes, I would have spoke up too. Just because you got to protect your woman.
Right.
But
they got to allow it, which they weren't allowing it because of the fact that he wasn't involved.
Yeah.
You know?
But after the fact, through our conversation, you realize this nigga ain't been doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not getting into that.
Yeah, he ain't been doing what
before Ray.
He should never. She should have never did none of that. She should have been quiet as a mother. Every time they asked her for something, she should have just been like, when can I get my phone call? Because she should have been calling him so he can call the lawyers.
Which I'm sure that's what he did, because I mean, why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? As soon as she got arrested and they took her away, he should have been on the phone with the lawyers, like, hey, this is what's going on, blah blah blah. You know, but it was just it was
you know really what? Not to cut you off. You know where he fucked up? because this was. I pay attention to body cam. Nobody said she was under the. She was in suspicion of being under the influence until she started talking.
Yeah.
If he would have ran the whole game of, oh, you said this was a hit and run. It was a hit and run. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I hate to say it because I'm now it's me being the devil's advocate. And when he fucked up when he was like, so clearly you probably had a couple of beers, and she was like, yeah, I would have never said that.
I
would
wouldn't have
have
said
around
that.
and been like, you know how to your blood pressure medication be having you loopy. Did you take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that medication, and I don't know. All right, cool. Hey man, my wife ain't got blah 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 because they didn't suspect anything until he said that.
Well, this is the thing though, because they went through the car and they found all the liquor in the car. And on top of that, the first people that showed up was the medics. She was belligerent, going off, cussing them out too. So I feel like they already were under suspicion, even though it wasn't said on the body cam. And I probably would have went with you. You know what I'm saying? The same way that you saying that Ray should have handled that. I am in agreement with you. You know, but I think it was inevitable that she would have, because she refused the breathalyzer. So that's automatic. And that person, that cop really had a lot of patience with her.
He did. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
That like.
But I just feel like
that shit go so far left as far as disrespect. I ain't never gonna say that. Like I've seen some like motherfuckers like put their hands on, but as far as disrespect, we've seen how far left that shit can go. He didn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't do that at all. And I also feel like some of the people that was with her prior to should hold some of that blame. Like you shouldn't allow people to leave your presence like that. You know what I'm saying?
Again, like I said from the jump, nah, it wouldn't have flew. It wouldn't have flew like that.
Yeah.
Me just knowing me, I just be like, nah. It's been plenty of times I done had people like sleep it off. Shit, I done had Jasmine pissed off at me. Like, well, he need to go home. I'm like, nah, he can't go home. Like,
right.
That nigga fell out the bathroom. Like, and you think I'm about to put him in a car? And I'm not about to take him home because I'm drunk too.
Right.
Like,
so yeah, it just is what it is at this point, you know.
Yeah, he about to go to sleep. That's it. He going to sleep.
He got to sleep that shit off.
In the morning, he gonna go home.
Yeah. But best of luck to Karen on that upcoming sentencing. But yeah,
ain't no best of luck. Fuck that. We ain't even gonna end it on that note. I get it. We, you know what I'm saying. We like to make sure that our black people are cool, but fuck that. This your second DWI, bitch. I hope you get 6 months. That's it. I don't want you to do the 2 years, but bitch, you need 6 months. Not only do you need 6 months, you need 6 months with the husband that you have only giving you enough that you can survive them 6 months. You can't look cute in prison. Fuck that. Fuck that. I've seen this shit. Yeah. I've seen niggas make sure bitches is cute in prison. We ain't doing it.
Yeah.
We ain't doing it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll do an update once she gets sentenced. See how that goes.
Yeah, this ain't like you held me down and I'm not going to jail because you took it. No, this is a DWI. Bitch, you ain't looking cute in that motherfucker. You in your regular hair looking like a 60-year-old. You can get the fuck out. Fuck are you talking about?
We're going to see how much work she really had because she looks amazing. So we're going to see after this jail sentence, because, woo. All right. So moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about the shutdown. This was some straight bullshit, but I'm glad it's averted. The government was about to shut down again because of budget. They were looking to extend the budget to March, and Elon Musk
Shout out to Elon.
Decided to get his ass on Twitter and try to interfere with the negotiation of the budget. And Trump was for it and stuff like that. And then you know that Elon does have a position with this new administration. So basically what they were saying in so many words was that nothing needs to be passed until January 21st. So I don't know if people have taken hints from this show, but I do work for the government. So that would affect me directly. And I'm not here for it. I like my checks and I like them in a timely manner.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, and there have been shutdowns before. There have been shutdowns where I've been directly affected, and it's not fun.
Me too.
It's not fun, and then not only that, you have this thing of being deemed essential or non-essential. If you are deemed essential, that means you still have to work without being paid.
Mm-hmm.
Say for instance, and this is the holiday season. A lot of people like to travel for the holiday season. If the government would have shut down, that means that the TSA workers will be there unpaid. If you think TSA workers are bitches now, what are you going to expect them being at work without being paid? A lot of people, if they're not
gotta be there,
they gotta be there. They gotta be there. And if you think that people are working, if not paycheck to paycheck, but paycheck to every other paycheck, just imagine them not being paid, still having to go to work. And then in Kansas City, the way that our city is set up, it's not cheap to have that commute when you live in the city limits going to the fucking airport every day. That's not cheap. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine the type of bullshit that they would have to go through. And they're going to pass on the savings, not the savings, but they're going to pass on the hell to everybody going through TSA because they're bitches. But I digress. So, I'm glad it was averted. I'm glad we don't have to go through this. We did have that issue back in the first Trump administration where the government did get shut down. And it was shut down. It was like the longest shutdown ever, I think. And there were TSA workers and stuff like that had to go to work unpaid. Now, people want to always be like, oh, well, they'll get paid eventually. Yeah, they'll get paid eventually. But like I said,
that don't stop bills, nigga.
Yeah, that don't stop bills. And then you can always, tell your debtors like, hey, I'm a government worker, and they can take grace on you or not. It's up to them. You know what I'm saying? I remember back when they shut down because they were going back and forth about Obamacare. I was actually laid off at the time, so it didn't affect me directly. But my cousin, she worked for Social Security, and she was full-time. She wasn't seasonal. And she didn't work for like a month. And she had to tell her debtors, like the rent, the car note, all them people like, hey, I work for Social Security. I'm not working right now. And they gave grace. However, in the same sentence, they was like, when you go back and you get your first check, I have to be the first person you pay. You can't be the first. Everybody can't be the first person.
Everybody can't be the first.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you agree to this because you need that grace. But in the same breath, it's like, everybody can't be the same person. And it's not like you're going to get your check the day you go back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a bunch of hell that it will cause when they do this. And they know they have to do the budget every year. So it's not like this was something unbeknownst to them or whatnot. And in Kansas City, they said we have like over 41,000 government employees. That's a lot of people that work for the government just within the Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up figuring it out, and Biden did cite it. So crisis averted. But it was getting down to the wire to where my manager called me last night. I don't even work on Fridays, but my manager called me last night like, hey, so this is the situation that we're foreseeing, but this is what's going to happen. And he had to let me know like if I needed to report or not. if we have a shutdown, do I need to come in or not, you know? So yeah, sucks. It sucks. That, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you work for the government. That's a good thing, you know, for job security and whatnot." And you know, it has its pros and cons for working for the government, but this is definitely a con because it seems like more now than before we have to worry about a shutdown.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it just seems like it's happening more now. Like they keep playing with people, you know. And then Elon Musk is on there like thinking that a month ain't a big deal. A month is a huge deal. It may not be for you because you're the richest person on the planet.
I was about to say,
But
Elon Musk doesn't know how much it costs to buy a soda.
yeah, like, and I saw somebody say a few weeks ago that if Elon Musk gave everybody in the world $2 million, he would still be a billionaire.
That's a lie.
He has like $316 billion. So,
yeah,
and it's only 8 billion people in the world.
It's a fucking lie.
How is that a lie?
Well, one, you have to do real math. So in real math time, like, so for my people in the audience, because I want you to know this, in real math time, if you give 2 billion people, how much you say? Because I want to do this math.
It's 8 billion people in the world. They said if you gave each person $2 million, he would still be a billionaire.
No, he wouldn't.
So how much is that? 8 billion times 2 million.
I'm about to grab my phone and I'm about to do it right now. Just to put it in perspective for everybody in the world, so y'all won't keep saying these millionaires, they could just give their money away. So you said $2 million
to each person in the world, and it's 8 billion people.
All right, $2 million times 8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
One, two, three. Oh, that's 8 billion. I want you to look at this. This is 1.6 E. I don't even know what E plus 16 means.
What?
So this is
what that Android math. You need that Apple math. That Android math don't work.
No, you can't do that. There's no way a person could, even if he was able to afford that.
2 million people, 2 million a person. And it's 8
times 8 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have enough money for that.
I feel like that's not the right equation.
Well, the thing about it, okay, so we ain't even gotta go act like everybody should be a genius in math. We'll just say this. If it was niggas, because I just pulled it up on a calculator, but I will say this. What nobody is thinking about is if I give this money to people, at the same time, what is my overhead? How much is it? Listen, how much does it cost to pay the people that I still have, that are under my umbrella? How much did it cost to actually run a company?
That's not coming out of his personal.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because I don't think y'all understand that Elon Musk literally ain't worth this money. And this is his net worth.
His personal, that's his personal net worth.
Okay, so net worth goes into this, because I know a lot of people get fucked up with this, and I just found this shit out a couple of years ago. Net worth is what you have as far as liberties. Now, liberties can be businesses, liberties can be everything that you're in your entrepreneurship, and that's what they're making. That's not what you have.
Right, and he could have way more.
Yeah, because it's a difference, because a lot of people get caught up in what gross worth and what net worth is. Gross worth is, I'm saying I got like 14 businesses, and these businesses make a certain amount of money. Net worth is, I have these businesses, and then this is what it's producing for this business. Under my name, I don't have that money though.
Yeah, but it can also be under your name, you have way more money. Like your cash on hand can be way more than what your net worth can be.
It could be, but that ain't for him.
Well,
it's way
I'm
too
just
much
saying
money.
what
That's
I saw.
way too much. He cannot do that. There's no way possible.
I don't think he would do that. Whether
even
he
if
could
he had the inkling of, even if he was like, you know what, I just want to make everybody comfortable. He don't have enough money.
I feel like he could end homelessness if he wanted to.
No, he couldn't. And the reason why he couldn't is because every day, in America alone, we make 3.4 new people every day. He would never be able to afford that.
I think he could. I think he could end homelessness.
No.
I think he could make a successful business and not reap the benefits from it personally.
Giving that type of money, and what? Because you saying he's giving everybody $2 million.
Now, first I said what the tweet said about giving everybody in the world $2 million, but now I'm saying, Lindsay, I'm saying he can end homelessness. If he just stuck with ending homelessness, I think he could do that. No problem. He can do that.
Okay, so how would you end homelessness, Lindsay? This is a question I'm gonna ask you.
Housing. You end homelessness with housing. You can do subsidized housing. You can do the tiny homes. You know, we got that tiny home community for the homeless vets. You can do tiny home communities. You can do apartment buildings. You can do all that kind of stuff. I feel like you can do it. No problem.
And boom, and I get that 100%. Yeah, we can do that. Are we doing any health or wellness checks or figuring out who we giving these houses to? Because that's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
So okay,
that's gonna cost money. So I feel like he can do a business. He can do a business that's a well-oiled running machine and not reap the personal benefits from that, and just put that over to the end homelessness fund and have it be funded by the business that's very successful.
Okay.
That way he ain't got to come out of his personal money. He just won't be adding to it from this particular venture. But
okay, so what part of any business that Elon Musk has where he wants to continue to lose money? Because if you invest in the homeless, you're continuously losing money.
Well, not necessarily, because you can write it off as donations or
even if you write it off in donations. At the same time, with your overhead, especially if you have a financial advisor, it has to be public knowledge. So even if I'm broke, I'm never gonna be broke off of this. And one of my business ventures, I lose $43 million a year. You know what that does? That starts making people look at, I don't want to invest in you no more. This is because see, this you looking at it in the greater good. He ain't looking at it like that. He's looking at it as what big
I don't think
business.
he's looking at it at all. Like, I don't think he give a damn.
Even if he did, like anybody, any philanthropist that looked at it, that's why we don't have philanthropists to do that, because they start losing their backing when you start, you know what I'm saying, when you just have a really consecutive loss all the time. And I again, I always love to talk to y'all who are listening to us. Like these certain things you have to understand. Same rules apply where we ain't even gonna be on Elon Musk. We gonna be on the nigga that's from 34th Street that started real estate and he started making money. You know what happens? The reason why you become broke, nigga, is because you start giving niggas money that can't recuperate you money. They're not big business wise. That is, they don't look at that like that. But we have watched a lot of people, especially people that look like us, lose money and end up going in right back in the same boat they was. It's because you want to give people money that's not reciprocating the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Can't keep giving your cousin $1,000 because she's not giving that money back.
That's true. That's true. You can't do that. But I feel like he can figure out a way to do that shit. He figured out a way to make a car that you can go to sleep in and drive you home. So if you can figure that out, you can figure out this whole.
Because I love you to death, but he'll never figure that out until
he don't want to figure it.
Until the real realizes, and that's one thing. Ooh, I'm glad you said that, because even thinking about it, it's one thing that he'll never figure it out now. Dealing with the currency that we have now, so we are really moving off of something that is imaginary.
Yeah.
And so until we figure out something that is actually tangible, he could never do that. Nobody could do that, because we're moving off of money that is imaginary.
Yeah, but I feel like he could figure it out if he wanted to. He just don't want to. But yeah, so that's it. The shutdown this time is averted. But God pray for us. Or God save us, rather. Keep us government workers in your prayers.
Look at what just happened. Look at what just happened. You had a man who had a platform that told you, we not gonna go for this shit, and then it went through a turmoil. So I want you to realize this shit, and this is just a gem for y'all that are listening to me. If you are listening to the Ish We Talk, hit the like and subscribe button. See how I'm trying to hit that up? I got an alarm over here, so I ain't gonna act like it's just me off the mic. I literally got a thing that's tagging. Well, I say, because I got to learn this. So hit the like and subscribe button. But Absolutely. At the same time, I will say this. See what's going on in this little minute. Trump ain't even president yet. Yeah. Start seeing what a drop is in the stock. If you've never invested in stock, and I ain't telling you on anything because I'm not an expert or none of that shit. I've literally learned it. I've been learning it in the past 2 months. If you have stock, watch where the drop goes right now.
Yeah, it dropped recently, right?
Yep. Start putting money into that, because those are all the drops that are going to happen. These are the things that's going to happen with big business. And I ain't telling you you got to put a bunch of money in it. I'm talking about you can go $10, $100, $10, $10, $10. Find you an actual brokerage and actually start putting real money into it. And when I say real money, I mean, if you got $500 to play with, start talking to those type of people, because I can guarantee you certain things is going to be on rising. One of the things that I will say, what Elon Musk was protesting about on X was how government officials was getting 3% cost of living, literally just a cost of living raise, and he was adamant about how that shit was wrong. And I think the reason why he did that is because he wants to push cryptocurrency instead of imaginary dollars. Pay attention to that. If you don't have cryptocurrency now, start investing in cryptocurrency, because these next 4 years are going to be crazy. And you're going to find that one white dude that had like $1 million, $100 in Ethereum, by the end of these next 4 years, become a millionaire off of it.
Yeah. So, these next 4 years are going to definitely be the ones to watch for sure. Trick Turner is watching. He says, "You buy the dip."
You buy the dip. You supposed to. And that's the only. I again, like I said, I'm not even savvy in this. I've literally just been paying attention to it now, and I was like, oh shit. You're going to watch the uprise, and then you're going to watch it drop, start paying for that. I don't give a fuck what you got. If you put $10 in it, I promise you, you're going to at least have, probably by the end of 2025 alone, put $10 in like cryptocurrency right now. You're going to at least have $400. So if you can think about, if you can think about it on a number like that, imagine what it is when you put 1,000 in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so that's the shutdown. Drake says that pager's still rolling. Excuse me. So next up is Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter is the what's that? The Heisman Trophy winner.
He won the Heisman.
Yes, he won the Heisman this past week, and he initially started out at Jackson State, but he was under Coach Prime there, and when Coach Prime moved to Colorado, he moved as well. This is a big deal, but it's being overpowered by the person he chose to be in a relationship with. So Drake says that boy is a sucker, and we watching the lick in real time.
No, he ain't.
So Travis has a girlfriend it's a fiance now, excuse me, who they've been in a relationship with for the past 5 years. They have been kind of vocal about their relationship because they have a YouTube relationship channel, and which she said a while ago that she wasn't even checking for Travis initially because he wasn't her type. Now, I do remember that a while back, and people was, upset about that or whatever. And people are now upset because there have been a couple of videos that have went viral because he, with him being this big football star in college, he has gotten an Adidas deal. And I think he plays offense and defense. And with him being this talented, he's most definitely going to be, if not the number one, he's going to be the first round for sure draft pick on the upcoming draft. So you can see his future is extremely bright, right? And very lucrative. There was a signing and picture taking event that was at a place that was featuring Adidas. And while he was at this event, his fiance was sitting there, complaining about sitting there, and was just like, so I'm supposed to just watch you take pictures. And, people was upset about that video. So then the other video that went viral was when it was announced at the ceremony who was going to win the Heisman. Travis was announced, and it was his fiance, his mom, Coach Prime, Shador, And I think Lil Wayne was standing up there too. But all these people were sitting on the front row, and all of these people stood up, except for his fiance. And so while everybody was elated that he won, the fiance was just sitting there, just like, "Oh, congratulations!" And Coach Prom had to like nudge her to stand up. So she finally stood up, and when he came over, of course he hugged her first. She was the first one in line. And he hugged everybody, and then he came back and hugged her again, because as soon as she hugged him, she sat back down, even though everybody else was still standing up. But he hugged her again while she was sitting down, and then he went on stage. So people are looking at this and coming after the girl, like trying to save him. Even before all of this, when that video was out, when she was talking about how Travis wasn't her type, the comedian Godfrey did a video pretty much saying like, "Hey, this girl ain't for you, and this is why." And so he came out and did a reply. It was just like, "You don't know my girl. You need to, chill, fall back, But now, instead of him going viral and trending for his talent and for his accomplishment in winning the Heisman, he's gone viral because of what his girlfriend did. And he came out, did a video, because he's big in social media too. So a clip went out that went viral about him trying to defend her, talking about how she drunk herself to sleep and been crying and all this kind of stuff because of her being attacked online. Then she did a video. She did an 8-minute video trying to explain herself for every indiscretion that people are attacking her for. Me personally, I mean, it's not a good look. The optics are terrible, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? Like, he's not going to be the first, sucker to get licked. He's not going to be the last sucker to get licked. I hope he doesn't get licked. I hope she's genuine, but hey, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't, because you can't save people that don't want to be saved.
Man.
You can't. Like, people have to come into that on their own. And what we're seeing on the outside looking in, it's not good. But he's in it, and he don't see nothing wrong. So just wish him the best of luck and move on. What are your thoughts?
You had a lot to say about it. And I get it, because it is a lot to say about it, but I'm gonna sum it up real quick, and I'm gonna just say this. The NFL wants you. They want a broken black man like you. That is exactly what they look for. Everything that you're saying is going to make sure that you are drafted real high when it comes to you going to the NFL, because that's what they look for. They look for a black man that doesn't know exactly where his place is. Mm-hmm. And it's no downplay to you. I don't never want you to think that your talent is not your talent, or that whatever your view is not where your emotional aspect is, and that's fine. You can have that 100%. But I want to tell you this: as being in the forefront of what black is, you are disrespecting the culture by allowing her. I don't give a fuck if she was white, black, or Indian, fucking yellow, purple, whatever the fuck this bitch is. This bitch could be a goddamn gremlin. Damn. What you're doing that no other man is saying, because they always want to say what you're doing wrong, which I ain't saying what you're doing wrong. What I'm saying is, you are the nigga who is going to change this bitch life. If you are not the one taking the front seat of it, you are doing a disrespect not only to you as yourself, but as black men. We have always had to, as black men, we've always had to be that kind. Like, We don't say nothing. We don't say this. Don't do that. It ain't enough of us to say this. It ain't enough of us to say that. Gotta understand that I grew up in a culture where they act like black man was non-existent, but yet I was a black man growing up in a black culture. So I don't understand that you have to be existent. My nigga, you keep on defending this bitch. At the same time, man, I want to know how you feel. Like, all jokes aside, I want to know how you feel about it. Because it is two things gonna happen, because how my mind works. I work in two different spheres. If you tell me, I don't know, whatever she's doing, I'm cool with, then I'm gonna put you in the sphere of you are a Sambo ass nigga. But if you put me in the sphere of I don't like what it's doing, but it's getting me more views, I'm gonna look at you more on some Tupac shit. Like, you were really just trying to look, you know what I'm saying? You were just really trying to look where the pocket was. But I need to have a conversation with you about that before, you know what I'm saying, in order for me to make those assumptions. I would never have a conversation with you about it. So how I look at it is you are downplaying the shit on us as men. Like, you are one of the top tier athletes we have ever seen, period. And I am 42 years old. I'll be 42 next year. I'm 42 years old. My nigga, you are one of the best athletes I've seen in my generation. If you are still on some whatever you want to do, like, you are fucking yourself up. You have so much potential to be something else. Like, to be some, and don't have to, like, Jim Brown had to be a political all black for us to be like, you know, that nigga used to beat the shit out of bitches. Like you don't even have that. So stand up for yourself. Like, goddamn. Like, just stand up. I'm not telling you to denounce that bitch, but stand to your crone. As a man, stand to your crone. Like, boom, this is your crone. And when I say crone, I really mean crone. Like, this is your crony. This is a person who would never be as famous as she is now if it wasn't for you. This is your crony. Stand up to that bitch. Tell her it's certain things you want her to do, it's certain things you don't want her to do. If she doesn't do that, then you just don't fuck with her no more.
But we don't know what conversations they've had. He may be on that type of time where he's checking her in private, but in public he gonna have her back.
Yeah, at the same time, is why do I have to keep checking you in private? Why do I have to keep doing that? Because I get that. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. And that could be one thing, but I've been a star since I was a freshman. We should have been had those conversations.
Should have, yeah. Should have.
So at one point, like with your understanding and your point, if I keep saying this shit over and over again and you keep doing it, why the fuck am I still here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I still got to do this? Like, I'm not faulting nothing she do, because I understand, especially in their life, they don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They know what I'm saying. For them, everything that we've learned about and then we witnessed is a past tense to them because they never ever experienced it.
Yeah, what I feel like is more than likely he's taking care of her. And he will continue to take care of her. So she don't need to do the social media. I feel like the YouTube should be taken down 100%. Like, we don't like the extra stories and shit that you doing, story time and telling us all these type of stories about just pretty much, you know, not showing him in the best light needs to be ceased.
You need to get your
we need to see you. We need to see you and not hear you. You know what I'm saying?
We need to get your goofy ass off of fucking anything, period.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole, like, again, I'm never telling you to not fuck with your girl. Like, that could be your girl to the end of time, whatever the fuck. Again, at one point, you have to realize what is good for you and what is bad for you. If this bitch on social media is bad for you, then guess what? You can't be on social media no more, or I got to fucking 86 you. Again, I'm not telling this man what to do. I would never do that. That's one thing about that I really didn't like about social media, how they trying to tell that man how to run a relationship. You can't tell nobody how to run shit.
Right.
It just has to start being beneficial for you. This right here, from what I'm saying, is everybody talking about how disrespectful your bitch is. Nobody's talking about how you won a Heisman. Look at that.
Right. And that's the sad part about it. Because this man, from what I understand, is a great player. And from what I understand, wholeheartedly deserved that Heisman. And for this man to have went to a HBCU and then going to a PWI, that's a big deal. That anybody that was anywhere affiliated with a HBCU getting the Heisman, that's a huge deal. None of this is being talked about. None of this.
It's talking about we talking about the bitch that every now and then you fuck, and then because you smart, you probably fuck with a condom all the time. You don't even know what this bitch really feel like.
Well, damn.
I'm just keeping it a beam with you. Just putting it in perspective, like this nigga is so ahead of what anybody looked at. Like this 2024, this man has won a Heisman. This man ain't got no kids. This man is just doing his thing. Even his bitch tell on him. He done been through situations where he'll drop her off at a party and sit in the car because that nigga don't drink and smoke because he's so focused. He's so focused on his goals, and y'all worried about this bitch. Y'all worried about her.
Shit ever.
Nobody ever wants this. Nobody even. I get so irritated because I'm like, even as a reporter, I'd be like, well, I want to know what the mental aspect of him is.
But my thing is that nobody's in tune with the star player, because why the fuck would you want this multi-million-dollar entity just sitting in a car waiting on you to get lit so he can drive you home? Bitch, why are you there? If it's that deep for him to be protecting of you in situations like this, why are you even there? Because anything can get popped off in that motherfucking parking lot. And then there goes his career because you wanted to go out so bad.
And I get that 100%. What I'm saying is that never did happen. So why are we even talking about the lame ass shit that nigga was doing? That's some lame shit. We already get it. That nigga lame. We know he a lame. That's cool. When have we, before this, especially for my audience, for the audience that are listening to this, when have we ever gave a fuck before Odell Beckham hit the stage as being, that flamboyant ass fucking football player? When have we ever gave a fuck about the bitches that niggas was fucking with, except when Kim Kardashian was fucking Reggie Bush?
We never really gave a fuck.
We never gave a fuck. And them niggas, come on, that's where Herschel Walker came from. Because we didn't give a fuck about his bitch. This is what I'm saying. It all boils down to, and it's no disrespect to you, dog, when I say this, my nigga. What I'm saying is, this is what the NFL looks for. They look for that big ass beast that is docile to a dumb bitch.
Yeah, they're easy to manipulate.
That's exactly what they look for.
Yeah, they look for the ones that are coming from a single parent household, maybe foster care, maybe have some sad stories, stuff like that. They look for those type of individuals, and that has been on record that they have.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
so the whole thing is like, bro, it's what it is. You even exploited that shit when you won your Heisman. You talked about your daddy being in prison.
Yeah, and there was a recording of him watching, and it looked like he was in a halfway house watching.
Yeah. So as much as you love your dad, I get it, because that's one thing I I go through the motions of dealing with my son. I know it's like it was certain things that I was doing before my son got here that I would never do.
Mm-hmm.
Your daddy just got caught up in that. And so I respect you loving your daddy, but your daddy wasn't there for you so he can give you that game you needed. Because I guarantee if he was there, this shit would never be happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Or,
I digress and I move forward.
yeah.
That's not your daddy's fault or your fault. That is what the NFL looks for. They look for a broken nigga. You're just broken, my nigga. Find yourself. That's it.
Yep.
That's all. Just find
Yep.
yourself.
Yep, I'm in agreement with that. So moving on. Yeah. So there has been this ongoing debate about tipping. So I'm going to, throw out a few scenarios on whether it's appropriate to tip or not. And yeah, so I think we all know restaurants, you tip your waitress. However, do you tip when you do carry out?
No.
Why not?
The reason why I don't tip to do when I do carry out is because one, that's what you're getting paid to do. You're literally getting paid to make food. So I paid already, so I don't tip.
Okay.
For takeout, no, I don't tip.
Okay. What about
hold on, now, because I have to put a disclaimer out there. Because I don't want anybody to be like that kind of like, no, he paid me. Like, now, if I got a couple of, like, if I got loose dollars, I always put it in, like, whatever little joint is there.
The tip jar? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about that, like, when drive-through, because sometimes they have that little tip jar right there. Do you put money in there?
In a drive-through? Man, fuck nah. I done waited too long anyway for this shit. Fuck are you talking about? If I'm going to wait 20 minutes for $82 worth of food, because I'm buying food for me, my girl fuck around and be somebody else, you know what I'm saying, that on their way to my crib, or 9 times out of 10, Jasmine's mom or dad is going to be here. Like, man, shit. I'm already paying for everybody. I'm not tipping shit.
Okay.
I'm waiting too long for this.
So, in a restaurant, when they automatically add the gratuity, do you put an additional tip?
No.
Why not?
The reason why I don't do that is because you already added gratuity. The thing is, if you added gratuity, in any restaurant that adds gratuity, you need to work it out with your servers to make sure that is the appropriate amount that you want to give your servers. Because your servers, when they get tips, they don't have to pay taxes for that unless it's exuberated rate. So if you're going to put taxes on it, you need to say, hey, talk to a couple of your servers and see what's the rate that they are willing to pay taxes for.
Mm-hmm.
And then once y'all do that, that's when I know, because I know people that are waitresses and things of that nature. When y'all start doing that, that's when I'll be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll put a little extra 5 there. And that extra 5 is actually going to be like money, because I know what's going to get taken out in taxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. If you have a service done, like a personal service, like if you were to get your dreads done, or just taking it off of you, like if you if you were to get your nails done or get your hair done, or get a facial, go to a spa, anything of that, like where a personal service is being done. So these people are not getting paid waiter and waitress rate.
Yeah, they're getting they're getting paid whatever it costs.
Yeah. So, do you tip?
The only way I would tip, because I have tipped before, but the only way I'm gonna tip, it was way better than I expected.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm never gonna be one of those people to be like, I ain't never tipped somebody who's done my feet before. I had a lady do my feet so dope. I got a brown toe. She had that motherfucker looking like white diamonds. I was like, yeah, I gave her extra $10 for that.
Yeah.
Cause like now I can take my shit off in a bitch house. I used to keep my socks on. I can take my socks off. Oh, bitch, you cold with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It depends on the service, basically.
yeah. It depends on the service. So, some people say it depends on the service with a waiter or waitress. Are you one of those people?
I'm not one of those people. As far as waitresses and waiters are concerned, a lot of these people, they rely on tips because they probably only getting like maybe $5 to $6 an hour, depending on the restaurant you at. And I learned that from having my sister being a waitress. And so I've always given something. Now, when I say that, I'm never telling you if my bill $40, I'm giving them $40. Fuck nah. I do 10 to 15%.
Okay. Yeah. I think like with me, when it comes to waiters and waitresses, I'm basically the same way. Like, I'm going to tip something. You have to be a horrible, I'm talking about horrible server for me to not tip you. Like, damn near cussing you out. However, I don't think it's fair that all of this weight is on the patron. Like, when you go to other countries, some countries is actually disrespectful to tip.
I mean, 100% true, but I can guarantee you, in whatever currency that country is paying that waiter for, we're diminished.
Right. And I feel like we need to, if we're such as, great country and whatever, we need to raise the minimum wage for servers. I
100% agree with that. It shouldn't be no reason why
it shouldn't be a
the
certain
minimum wage rate, even by the 2025, excuse me, minimum wage would be what, $17.25?
Maybe,
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention to it, but at the same time, that's minimum wage. Working in some spots that are elite spots. I'm talking about this waitresses that work for elite spots that make $8.25 an hour.
Yeah,
and they rely off tips.
Yeah. But I don't feel like the burden should be on the patron, because that money's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair. It's not fair.
The burden shouldn't be on you. Certain companies pay attention to that because the burden shouldn't be on you, but the burden is on you. That's why they put it in gratuity.
Right.
And
that's why they put it in the gratuity. But I feel like it's all in the marketing, because people are pissed off with gratuity. You know what I'm saying? Don't automatically put it on my thing, and then depending on who you get, you might get somebody that want to argue you down about that gratuity. So it's all in the marketing. I feel like, because the burden is gonna be on the patron, period. Just across the board, it just is what it is. But I feel like marketing, like, they shouldn't automatically do the gratuity. They should pay them a livable income, but just fuck it and put it in the price on the meal, because that's what it's gonna end up being anyway. So,
I mean,
like, if they have to pay
that's the
them a
only
higher
way
minimum wage, they're gonna put it in the price on the meal.
yeah, that's the only way you're gonna get paid a livable wage. And when
Yeah.
I say a livable wage, I always tell people like a livable wage right now and 2024 going into 2025, a livable wage, if you have somebody that's just on that rat race, it has to be at least $20.
Yeah.
Like you $20 for 8 hours of work, it just equates into $160. Most of us who are living a calm life spend at least $100 a day, and that's not on like that's not saying that like they just splurge your money. I'm just talking about in bills and like if you have to buy toiletries and things of that nature, at least if you calculate everything and they boil down to a month time, it's probably about $100 a day.
Yeah.
Like you gotta give somebody at least a comfortable wage. But in saying that, it takes you out of your uncomfortable rate wage because with rich people, they're able to pay people. So at one point, you can't pay for the nanny. You can't, you can't get the card service. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to take away from what they're doing. That's what get rich people right now. And it's like we have the opportunity to make sure everybody comfortable. Rich people are just too comfortable and they don't want to go out of their comfortability. And then some black people the same way. I love my girl to death. My girl, I always say hands down the shit. She's so comfortable. Sometimes she tell me dumb shit like, I don't want to go in the basement because the spiders down there. I'm like, what the if you don't get your bitch ass downstairs. But that's the minor shit. That's minor. That's the minor thing that I have to do.
That I'm not mad at her on that spider shit.
At the same time that I say this, put this in real perspective. You'll have a woman to say, I don't want to help you take bills because I don't want to help you pay the bills because I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. That's dumb. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Like,
yeah, I get it.
But that's what rich people are doing. What? You want me to pay the bill? I ain't doing that. So if you know rich people doing it, when you find a woman that's doing it, you know that ain't the woman for you. Y'all supposed to be doing this shit together.
Yeah.
I ain't saying she's supposed to be going half and half. I'm never gonna do that. I would be remiss to say that because my woman don't pay not a bill. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't tell another nigga to make your woman do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't never gonna do that. At the same time, I'll say this: my woman know what my bills cost. She know what it costs to live here. She know that. So if something happens to me, she know what it costs to be able to maintain this.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she gonna get that hustle. She gonna turn that old hustle grind on and do what she gotta do because she know what it costs.
Right. It's one thing to be a part of paying. It's another thing to be in the know.
Yeah.
You should always be in the know. So, but anyway, yeah. So that was the tipping. It's an ongoing conversation that has been going on for a while on where to tip, where not to tip, and how much to tip, and all that. So, yeah. So, lastly, this is a developing story. So, we only have a little taste. I'm sure next podcast we will probably have the full amount. But Fat Joe, yeah. So, Fat Joe went on a show and was talking about foundational Black Americans, and we know that foundational Black Americans is pretty much ran, or not ran, but spearheaded by Tariq Nasheed. And a lot of people are saying this is stemming from the documentary that Tariq Nasheed put out, basically saying that the origin story of hip hop started with black people, period, point blank in the discussion. Fat Joe has been on this tangent for years talking about how blacks and Latinos were the ones that started hip hop. There has been, proof on top of proof that although Latinos were there in the inception, they did not create it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the creators of hip hop in the 70s, when it was created, it was black people and black people. So yeah.
Before you go there,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we live right now, so I can say this.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people that 100% say this. Hip hop wasn't just created in the 70s. Hip hop got its pull from the 70s. Hip hop, or putting words on top of words in a poetry form, but adding it to music, has been going on since I don't know, maybe since the 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I want to say
during
that
the what is it, the Black Renaissance?
Yeah.
Or the Harlem Renaissance? Harlem Renaissance, excuse me. Yeah. Because
I want to say that because niggas that didn't have a voice, they wasn't saying poetry. They was putting rap into songs. Like they were really making rap songs back then because they wouldn't trying to put it in a poetry method, nor was they trying to sing it. They were literally talking and stacking rhymes on top of rhymes. That's been going on for a long time. So let's just stop saying hip hop was created in the 70s because that's a lie. Hip hop
No, I would say hip hop. What you're talking about more specifically is rap.
Okay.
So the origin story of rap, sure, probably started in the Harlem Renaissance. I will give you that. But hip hop as a whole, 70s.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. But the fact still remains, if we're talking about the 20s or the 70s, it was black people and black people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was black people and black people. So yeah. So the point of all this is black people started the shit. It is of our culture. Fat Joe is not of our culture. He can say the N-word till he's blue in the face. That would never make him a black person. He's not black. He's not Afro-Latino. Some people are even trying to argue that he's Italian in real life. So I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, but
that would be mad business. Like, bro, if that shit came to light, like his daddy was like Italian and his mama was like Hispanic, nigga, no, like that
yeah.
Boy, they would be like all that shit we used to listen to.
Right. That would be hilarious. But what I think he is half Cuban and half Puerto Rican. I think that's what he is. But both of his halves are white. So yeah, he's not black. And I blame the black people in New York for allowing these Latinos the pass to say the N-word because like I probably have said before on this podcast, I know I said it off the podcast, but where we're from, it wasn't that many Latinos. We had black, white, Asian, and Mexican. That's it. So a Latino, a Boniqua, all that shit, I didn't know what the fuck that was. I thought they were black people. I thought they were light-skinned black people. So
wow, that's what it was.
Yeah,
no, I can only say this because I lived this life. Like, yeah, we were just black.
Right. So especially because he's saying the N-word and nobody is addressing it. So it's like, it was like back then, I like Fat Joe, but I thought he was black. I didn't get it. Like, okay, I understand Cartagena is not a black name, but again, I know because like I said, we got black, white, Mexican, and Asian in Kansas City. We don't really have a big Latino community here. So yeah, I didn't know what the hell he was until years ago, but growing up, I thought he was black. So yeah, I didn't get it.
It's so
I
funny
I,
you
I
say that because
just
I
did
think
not get why it was okay for these people that are not us to say the N word when we have been taught for the longest that people that are not us cannot say it. And then he goes on these tangents, and there's all this video proof of him arguing the point of him being able to say it. Why do you care so much to say this word? You have so many words that you can pick from out the dictionary, but this one word, why is it so much of a big deal to you to say this word? If people are telling you, please don't say that word, I am offended. Why do you say, but fuck that nigga?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me. And all the hate and vitriol that we give white folks when they try to tell us that, we need to be given to everybody else that says that when they're not black. If we made this rule, if we took back this word and we made this rule that we are the only ones to say it, there's no exceptions. There's none. You know what I'm saying?
It can't
Like,
be.
there's none.
It can't be.
Yeah. Because you don't get that feeling in your gut when a white person says it to you. You don't get that feeling. That's an undescribable feeling. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But
Wait,
now he's going, not only is he going after, or not only does he say this word, but he's going after the foundational Black Americans, calling them racist and all that. And the fact that this white Latino is calling Black people racist, I feel some type of way about.
Well, we can't call him a white Latino. We listen. Okay.
He's a white Latino.
All right, boom. I'll just do this. Cool, because I want the whole whoever is watching us in any diaspora. Like, when you look at this, you see this right here. This looks like middle-aged black guy. I'm just in a podcast. I'm just doing me. All right, that's cool. And then I'll just do this, and then I'll be like, yeah, my father was this and that and the third, and then you look at the light hue, and you can believe it to be true. Like, that's the thing that Fat Joe has been doing for years. You've always seen him in this light hue, and he's saying this. Like, wow, I'm nigga, wow. And then you put him here, but he don't look like me. He's out of the picture.
Yeah.
He don't look like me. He can't represent what I represent. So I'll say this. I think for him, it's totally off basis. It really threw me off when I heard it. When you told me earlier, it just really threw me off because I was just like, damn, I didn't think he was gonna be one of them ones, but he's one of them ones. You get so defensive because you just don't want to lose your money. It ain't because you defending what it is to be Afro Latino. Like, let's just keep it a bean. It's you're not doing it to defend being Afro Latino. You are defending saying the N-word.
Basically.
Because we all had persecution. That's true. But if you get into history, everybody had persecution. Jews had persecution. Australians had persecution. Niggas from Ireland had persecution. Arabs had persecution when it comes to different tribes. Africans had persecution going to certain different tribes, all that. Since when did New York be the pecking area for everybody to just be niggas? Like, to just be niggas. And I'm just a guy from the Midwest, and and the only reason why I say that is because at one point I had certain people that grew up in my demographic that excelled past me calling them niggas. They told me, we don't do that in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can do that, and this is me as a nigga telling you that I say nigga all the time. If my niggas tell me I can't call them niggas no more, why would I continue to do that shit for you? On top of you trying to tell another black man that he can't say nigga like that. Like, why are you? We are already, all of us are always separated. That's the problem with America. Like, America is exactly what it is in the Bible to be Sodom and Gomorrah when they start knocking the tires down and everybody starts speaking different language. Even when a nigga was speaking the same language, he wasn't speaking the language that niggas was comfortable with. This is what we're seeing. But since when have you been able to tell a black man that he ain't the black man that he says he is, just because he stands on what being black is? That's the thing that like fucks me up about it.
Yeah.
Like, when I told you before this podcast, I was like, damn, like I would have never expected him to do that. And at most, he should have been like, man, whatever he feels he need to say is what he need to say. It ain't never about to be on some all these extra niggas. Like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, like,
and that's he just pretty much proved my point on what I feel about Latinos using the N-word. I mean, and Black Latinos, because the fact that when he went in that clip, when he was talking about the foundational Black Americans, and he called them radical Black racists, and he was like, I don't know what these niggas on. But you're not saying niggas like my nigga. You're saying niggas in a derogatory term. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I don't fuck with Afro Latinas saying that shit, because at the end of the day, some Afro Latinas wasn't even acknowledging their Afro part until a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm not here for none of you motherfuckers using that word. Just find something else to do. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not here for the shit. I'm just not.
I mean, you know what? I can't hold you because you know I've always been a defendant of it. Like, but I can't hold you after this shit. Like, I'm literally like, nah, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up, because like I told you, and I've told this podcast a million times before. If you're listening to us, hit the like and subscribe button. But I've told you and plenty of people before, like, yeah, I just be respecting where I came from, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I can't defend that shit. Like, me defending that shit is gonna make me look like Uncle Tom, because I always bet on black. At the end of the day, I always tell people bet on black. My mama told me a long time ago, Cubans ain't nothing but niggas that know how to swim. So my diaspora of being who I am still looks like me.
Yeah. And yes, absolutely. Like, when I knew this way before I went to the DR, but when I went to the DR, you couldn't tell a tourist from a native until they opened their mouth and all the Dominican flags flew out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But then in the same breath, when you get to talking about that island consists of Haiti and the DR, and they are extremely racist against the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the Dominicans just really don't really fuck with their black side like that.
And that's wild. You know what?
But I don't want to hear them say nigga either. You know what I'm saying? Because again, because I know this, it's like, are you saying nigga as in my nigga, or are you saying it like you're a nigger? You know what I'm saying?
And I agree. I
don't want to have to. I don't want to have to go down that road of questioning that shit. So I just prefer you not to say that. Let's just not do this.
Again, and I agree 100% just because of as much as I've been trying to defend it, it is just certain things I pay attention to. When you showed me that shit, I was like, oh nah, like at one point, because I'm so unapologetically black, I'm never gonna allow nobody to like slide in on the culture if you're not really about the culture. So like at one point, like I said, I've always said, I even said it on this podcast, like I really was on some Fat Joe Afro Latino. That's just what it is. That's because I'm making my assumption. I'm saying this is why he's so comfortable with saying it. Nah, he's comfortable with saying it because niggas around him didn't check him on that.
Yeah, he should have been checked a really long time ago.
Should have been checked. But I got a homeboy right now that I love to death. I'm talking about this nigga take a bullet for me on my mama. My nigga Pedro. Pedro is Mexican and Guatemalan. He looked like a nigga. His baby mamas are niggas, but he will never say nigga.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because that ain't his thing. He like, man, why would I look? I'm like, bro, you nigga, me and you look just alike. He like, man, I'm not about to be on no bullshit like that. He like, that ain't even the type of time I'm on, my nigga. Like, without saying that, he like, that's just not the type of time I'm on.
Exactly. You know, you have to look at the character of the person. If they are just so gun-ho and saying that word, why? You know what I'm saying? Why this word you have to say? Why are you making an argument to say this word? When you know the hate and the history behind this word, why do you need to say this word? Why are we having a conversation about if you can say this word or not? Why is this happening?
It's the need for me. When you say it's the need, yeah. Like Fat Joe thinks he has a need to say it. You don't need to say it. Like,
you don't.
And that's only because when you showed me that, I'm talking about, nigga, I went through a whirlwind. I'm like, damn, I really used to bob to, my niggas don't dance. They just pull up their pants and do the rock away. I'm like, I was listening to a person who was not a person of color saying this.
Yes. Just me, like I said, I didn't know the motherfucker wasn't black. I'm buying his album. Some of y'all don't even know that motherfucker had a bomb ass album, Don Carter Jr.
Don Carter Jr. Jealous Ones Still Envy or Jealous Ones Envy.
Yes, I bought Jealous Ones Still Envy, and I bought Don Carter Jr. I was a fan. So for me to be like, fuck that motherfucker, that's a deal. That's a deal to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I really fuck with Fat Joe at a point in time. But now I can't get jiggy with it. I just can't. But of course, this is a developing story, so we're gonna
deep dive
definitely
into it. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I will 100% say like as much as and on this podcast I defended Fat Joe.
Yeah,
like and like Lindsay will attest to that. I've been defending Fat Joe. I can't defend him for shooting down a black orchestrated movement because you can't do that.
You got too much dip on your chip, bro.
Yeah, it's I would never, and that's honest to God truth. I'm gonna say my opinion about it, but I would never shoot down a black orientated group unless they were always about hate speech.
And they're
Hate speech is something that I don't go for. I don't go for nobody's hate speech. But what I'm always gonna big up is whatever black movement that is moving. I'm always be a part of that.
Yeah.
If
I'm
you can
always
do
for
it without
the
beating nobody.
advancement of our people.
Yeah, bigging up each other doesn't mean you hate on nobody else. I'm always big up that. That's why I love Pan Africans. I love Muslims. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with my 5%ers that ain't on no bullshit. Like these are the people that I fuck with because they don't be on no extra. When niggas get on extra time, I can't fuck with it because at the end of the day, hate is never gonna make us triumph over nothing. Hate is the reason why us as black people are where we at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we think we're gonna challenge hate with hate, we're always gonna be on a losing battle because they hate is always stronger than ours.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. But I think Fat Joe is watching because we got the thumbs down.
Wow, who gave us a thumbs down?
Fat Joe, he gave us a thumbs down. So
when you hit the like and subscribe button, if you are Fat Joe and you gave us this thumbs down, just talk to us directly. I fuck with you. And I know Lindsay fuck with you to the point where I can guarantee you Lindsay can shoot you some lyrics that you have said.
Yeah.
So like if that was you, like just get on here and fuck with us so we can explain to you what we talking about.
Yeah, it's disheartening. It really is. But we're gonna go ahead and close out. So I don't have any final thoughts. So Jerry's final thoughts. Take it away.
Ooh, and I love it. Thank you for giving me Jerry's final thoughts. We're in the holiday season. Y'all are buying things for your children, you're buying things for your loved ones, but nobody is checking on you. So my Jerry's final thought is always, hey, make sure that you are okay. And when I say that, I mean like before you try to check everybody else's temperature, check yours. Sometimes we need counseling. I set up some shit for the New Year's because I know I'm gonna need to talk to somebody. Not only do I'm gonna need to talk to somebody about business ventures and everything that I did this year. I also want to make sure that my levels, as far as being regular, is good and they want. I think everybody needs that. I think everybody that is listening to us, that loves us, do a detox. We have went through a bunch of crazy shit this year, so do a detox. Y'all have seen me. You know I'm just a nigga that like smoke weed, smoke blacks, drink a lot of liquor on here. My first day starting the new year, I'm gonna put myself through a full detox. Because I know that's not sustainable. And I implore everybody to do the same. You can be, you see me now, and I'm drinking, I'm smoking, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, but I know I need to change. Y'all are gonna be in the same boat. If you know you need to change, do the same thing I'm doing. Take care of yourself. Self-preservation is key, especially if you want to maintain and make sure that your offspring or your progenies learn something from you. My son is gonna learn that I'm trying my best to change my ways, and all you guys should do the same. I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just saying if you're doing what I'm doing, you probably need to change up. And I'm going to be on a level of changing up. So I implore y'all for 2025, do this. Change up. Know what you have to do to make a better way. Also, checking the stocks, checking the cryptocurrency, check into BlackRock. If you don't do anything else, all the shit that I just said prior to that, checking the BlackRock. and see if your company has stock in that. If they don't, you start investing in it. And that's one of the gatekeepers to what money is. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Well, thank you for that, Jerry's final thought. And this is episode 141 of the Ish We Talk. And we will see you guys for episode 142. Bye.
Exactly.